In honor of Black History Month, this morning we welcome a special guest into our studio.
Arianna Shaprow Crain's poem Resilience is featured in the National History Museum, and she's here to bring it to us, so take it away.
My poem is entitled Resilience. We were taken from our homelands, our prosperity and sense of community stolen from us, families torn apart, cultural identities dismantled, forgotten. From Holly Springs, Mississippi, in the shackles of slavery, to Chicago, seeking independence and liberty. This was the journey of my ancestors. We were never freed after the Emancipation Proclamation, never freed from generational trauma and pain. Oppression, segregation, stereotypes, and racism. Poverty naturally followed, haunting us. A never-ending maze with no exits, only dead ends. My relatives suffered rat bites and tuberculosis as babies, gunshot wounds and addiction as adults, never knowing what's next, surviving paycheck to paycheck. Food stamps, welfare, evictions, and discrimination. 13 of my great aunts and uncles slept in a housing tenement. 4 slept on a single soiled mattress, a drumline of tragedies. Many of them broke the cycle. My grandmother becoming the first Black assistant district attorney in El Paso, Texas. Scholarships and hard work paved her way. We don't know much of our history, or where in Africa we come from. This knowledge was stripped away from us, buried deep in our family's history. It remains a mystery. One thing that will never be taken away from us is our culture. We have created a rich culture through centuries of oppression. Our coping mechanisms calmed us. Comforting melodies, gospel, jazz, blues, and soul. What do we have? We have our imagination. We redefine and reframe to make us sane. When I'm fearful, I remember to be courageous, that I have ancestors who were beaten and lynched. My ancestors were slaves, refugees, migrants, survivors. This is my lineage. This is my story. We are resilient, resilient survivors.
You're able to hear Arianna Shaprow Crain's poem Resilience, which is currently featured in the Las Vegas Natural History Museum.
And you can see her poem in this month in honor of Black History Month. Arianna, thank you so much for your powerful poem. Thank you so much for sharing it with us and coming into the studio to talk about it. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind this poem.
My grandmother has always told me stories of the discrimination and segregation her siblings, and her ancestors faced. So I wanted to share our family's story and how those struggles and hardships let us become who we are today.
At 12 years old, how long did it take you to put all this stuff together? Because it was very well thought out.
Honestly, I just let it flow, and the words just kind of got out onto paper, all of the emotions, and yeah, I think a week for that process.
Yeah. You told us that you love to write. When did you start writing?
I started writing, I've always loved to read and do that type of stuff, but I started maybe 2 years ago to do professional poetry and writing.
So how does it feel to be featured in the Las Vegas Natural History Museum?
I'm so grateful, and I love how other children get to kind of understand the experience and the accomplishments we've made.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, keep going. The accomplishments that we've made. Yes.
Yeah.
And just what do you expect, what do you want to see in the future, maybe coming from your poem?
I want to see more awareness spread on this topic, and I just want other people to understand,
And know the history.
Yeah.
Take us back a little bit to when you got the notification that your poem was going to be featured. What was that like? What'd you do?
I was just super excited, and my family was so proud of me. It was like a surreal experience.
I bet. Very cool. And I feel like not many 12-year-olds have this opportunity to be able to do something like this. So that's got to feel pretty cool too.
Yeah, well, you know, you could always achieve whatever you want to do just by putting hard work into it.
And if we wanted to see any of your other pieces, your other work, how can we find you?
Arianna Shaprow Crain, a simple Google search.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your poems are online then. Can't wait to read some of them.
Thank you.
Amazing, amazing woman. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.